Outdoors Delmarva covers everything outdoors, including real hunting and fishing situations involving wildlife. Now, we do our best each week to bring you tasteful content, but viewer discretion is advised. Now, enjoy the show.
You're watching Outdoors Delmarva, presented by Gateway Subaru. Higher standards.
We're taking you back to March 25th to the Milton Outdoors Expo and dinner. We'll stop by Horner Power Sports in Willards to discuss the future of Maryland's OHV community. We'll take the Hoppers Island Drawbridge to Memory Lane in this week's Remembering Scorchy Taws. And we'll head up to Camden to meet the latest recipient of the WBOC Mountaire Farm to Table Scholarship. Outdoors Delmarva starts right now.
Welcome to Outdoors Delmarva, the show dedicated to a commitment of conservation and to the community that makes Delmarva's outdoors such a hidden gem here in the Mid-Atlantic. My name is Jason Lee, and a quick show of hands, how many of you thought that your NFL team did really well in this year's draft? Yeah, okay. All right, well, I guess we'll see. Wait, Cowboys fans, put your hand down.
This is Outdoors Delmarva, presented by Gateway Subaru. Higher standards. And now, here's Jason Lee.
On behalf of everyone that made last weekend's DSN Outdoors Expo possible, I'd like to say thank you to all of you who came out. We had a great time, and it was wonderful to meet so many of you. We also had a great time last month at the Milton Outdoors Expo, and we thought that we'd share that with you now.
Tonight, we're at Eagles Nest Church on the campus here in Milton, Delaware, and we're looking forward to hosting the 2023 Outdoorsman Expo and Dinner. We had over 30 vendors, and we had seats available for 210 guests, and we are maxed out. We've actually had to turn people away at the door because we filled every seat. This is the first expo for the outdoorsman world that we've done. We've been working with Steven Schuster, tonight's guest speaker, to kind of get the framework for it so that we could have an event here in the Delmarva region. We really wanted to host one here in Sussex County. So we've been following his roadmap for really about the last 9 months to get prepared with sponsors and those that could be a part of tonight's event.
The support from the leadership team, Pastor Bob, Pastor Jay, John, and Beth, this started 9 months ago. And the planning and the preparation, it's figuring out who do you go after for vendors, how do you have a message for your vendors, what are you going to do about food, how do you prepare the food, how many people are you going to have, how do you sell the tickets, how do you give out door prizes, how can you get the local vendors to participate and be an active part of this incredible event tonight. So I've been speaking at events like this for now 6 years. I worked in the outdoor industry with Gore and Sitka for 39 years. I started thinking about this significance thing about 4 or 5 years ago. I actually participated, my wife and I go to this church, and I've been talking about to the leadership here at this church that this is an opportunity to reach out to Sussex County and tell this story about the outdoors. So it did take a few years for this thing to actually materialize. But once the idea got seeded, and then John and Beth Milter, it was amazing how, again, tonight it's sold out. So I truly believe that one of the challenges that we face is getting kids exposed to the outdoors where they don't believe the outdoors is a scary place for them. And I don't think they've had a chance to see stars, see a shooting star, see a sunset, or see these things that are amazing on going for a walk or for a hike. And I believe we need more mentors. We need more individuals that are willing to take kids and give them a chance to experience the outdoors, get them away from their cell phone or their computer.
We are truly blessed to live in an area where the love for the outdoors is so strong in our communities. Still ahead on the show, a drawbridge profession draws to a close in this week's Remembering Scorchy Taws. But up next, we find out what steps are being taken in Annapolis to benefit the OHV community here on Maryland's Eastern Shore. Outdoors Delmarva, presented by Gateway Subaru, returns right after these messages.
You're watching Outdoors Delmarva, presented by Gateway Subaru. Higher standards.
Welcome back to Outdoors Delmarva. We met up with James Rattino, the president of the Maryland OHV Alliance, and Robbie Horner of Horner Power Sports to find out when, or if, public land access will be coming to Maryland's Eastern Shore.
Our organization was founded to promote sustainable off-highway recreation for vehicles. We noticed that there's an explicit lack of that access for public access in the Eastern Shore. It used to be that historically, about 10-15 years ago, the state of Maryland shut down the only public access over in Pocomoke State Forest, but there's still that need, there's still that demand. It's one of the fastest growing forms of outdoor recreation in the country right now. And it's also the #4 contributor to the Maryland outdoor economy. It comes in behind boating, RVing, and hunting, trapping, and shooting. So we're right up there at $78 million a year, but there's nowhere to spend it in Maryland. People are driving to Hatfield-McCoy in West Virginia. $5 million plus a year goes there. Pennsylvania, Virginia, North Carolina, Delaware, not to Maryland. There's some stuff out in the mountains out in western Maryland, which is great access, but that's over 6 hours away for a lot of folks here. And that's not providing them the access they need. And our organization is trying to come in, help show that there's that gap, there is that need, and to get that access back in here.
We definitely need a public riding area on the shore. Like James was saying, the closest one is 5-6 hours away from here. Or we have to go to Hatfield-McCoy, which is roughly 8 to 10 hours, depending on where you go in West Virginia. I think it would be great for the area and the economy. Every customer who comes in here is looking for a place to ride. Unless there's private land that somebody has, there are no public riding areas in this area. It'd be great for the business and the businesses around. ATVs, dirt bikes, they're all growing, and it would certainly help.
So in order to get the access back or started anew in a new location, leaders need to see that there's the demand. They need to see that the constituents want it, which in conversations that we've had, people do. We started a petition online to help show that there is the demand that has over 2,200 signatures already trying to get access back on the Eastern Shore. And each one of those people, from an economic standpoint, is going to drop $600 on a day to $1,200 over a night trip. That's money coming into gas stations, mom and pop shops, restaurants, lodging, shops like Horner Power Sports to come in for repairs or parts that they need on their weekend trips. So it's not just a recreational opportunity, it's also a recreational tourism economic driver that has proven to be a driver in a lot of different regions. Western Maryland is capitalizing on it, Virginia's capitalizing on it, Pennsylvania, West Virginia, I mean, the states around us are capitalizing on it. There's the land here and the opportunity, and it really should be utilized to its fullest potential.
We'll do our best to keep you up to date as things develop with the proposed regulations, but you can stay informed and get involved by going to the Maryland OHV Alliance's Facebook page. Still to come on the show, we meet the March recipient of the WBOC Mountaire Farm to Table Scholarship, Cesar Rodney's Kaiya Bernard. But up next, we head back to Scorchy's Corner. Outdoors Delmarva, presented by Gateway Subaru. We'll be right back.
You're watching Outdoors Delmarva, presented by Gateway Subaru. Higher standards. Sponsored by Shorts Marine.
Welcome back to Outdoors Delmarva. Now, we can't always stop the wheels of progress, but we can certainly do our part to remember the legacy of those that helped keep Delmarva connected.
Honoring the life and legacy of Scorchy Taws. Thanks to Shorts Marine in Long Neck, Delaware. Shorts Marine. Everything but the water.
WB22 to Fishing Creek Drawbridge. I'd like to have an opening, please.
All right, thanks for the call. Fishing Creek standing by.
The Fishing Creek Drawbridge, the gateway to Hooper's Island, will not be standing by much longer. Rising from its shadow is a new high-rise structure of concrete and steel, which is fast signaling the end of an era.
It's definitely going to change things around here. This is all real personal. When people go by, you wave, you know, the delivery guys when they come by and everybody. And when this one's gone, we're just going to have a big piece of concrete.
Shay Ray, along with her sister-in-law Laura, and Lou Wannix, who share shifts in this 24-hour-a-day, 365-day-a-year operation, will go down in the annals of Dorchester County history as the last of the drawbridge tenders.
I've been here since 1977. I love it. I mean, I'd never imagined a job like this, but I really do. I love it.
However, sometime late in this coming autumn, Shay Ray will be reporting for her final day of work. For most, there is no emotional attachment to a bridge, but Shay will be leaving a generous portion of her life behind, and her feelings are understandable.
Kind of sad, actually, and not just because I'll be losing my job as a bridge tender. We've got a certain way of life down here, and that's going to be gone. So that does make me sad.
But acknowledges the new bridge will bring with it a major advantage.
Nobody likes to wait, and this old bridge takes a little while to open and close. And so in that regards, when they want to just zip through, they'll be able to.
It has been 90 years since the first drawbridge was built at Hooper's Island. It went down in the storm of 1933. If bridges could express themselves, would this old structure, like its predecessor, a mirror of early Delmarva, feel used, abused, and discarded? We think not. After 59 years of searing summers and frigid winters astraddle the storied Hanga River, its creaky bones are ready for rest. However, its spirit will live on, and the images of Shay Ray and her counterparts, last of the drawbridge tenders, will always be there. Scorchy Taws wandering our Delmarvelous land for WBOC News.
Remembering Scorchy Taws is presented by Shorts Marine, online at shortsmarine.com.
Did you know that May is Motorcycle Safety Awareness Month? Did you know that fatalities among motorcyclists 55 and older increased by 37% from 2011 to 2020? And did you know that 41% of the more than 2,100 motorcycle fatalities that occurred as a single vehicle crash in 2020 were alcohol related? Now you do. With the warmer weather comes the desire to hit the open road. So slow down, wear a helmet, don't drink and ride, and if you're in a vehicle, look and listen for those on 2 or 3 wheels.
Did You Know is sponsored by North Bay Marina. Outdoors Delmarva will be right back. You're watching Outdoors Delmarva presented by Gateway Subaru. Higher standards.
Welcome back to Outdoors Delmarva. We are proud to partner with Mountaire Farms to honor Delmarva High School seniors who have a passion for agriculture or the culinary arts. It is my pleasure to introduce the March recipient of the WBOC Mountaire Farm to Table Scholarship, Cesar Rodney's Kaiya Bernard.
When I first started culinary in this program and just in general, I never thought that it would get this far to get me on the news and stuff. I just mainly did it because it was something I loved, and I never really thought about this aspect of it, the recognition and everything. Culinary in and of itself is following recipes and making food, but you also get an aspect of creativity in there where everything you make doesn't have to be the same, and you don't always have to follow the recipe. You can kind of do your own things with it.
I think I have a unique perspective on Kai's growth as a student because I was her kindergarten principal at McElvain Early Childhood Center, and I'm her principal here at the high school, so I saw her on her first day of school, and I'm gonna get to see her when she graduates. I'm gonna use the word intense. If you've ever watched Kai practice for the Pro Start, or if you actually watched her in the competition, she's definitely in the zone, and she has a pretty complex dish to make. So I think she's really good at kind of filtering out the distractions. Again, I think there's sort of a quiet tenacity or temerity to her. I think wanting to get it right and be perfect about it. And I think passionate. I think she's quietly passionate about what she's doing in this process. She's making the dessert for us, which is a pretty complex dish. And then she's gonna go on and pursue that at the next level with Walnut Hill.
Well, as a student, she's very bright. She's at the top of her class academically. So she's got that going on. And then from the very beginning, you can tell which students have that spark, which kids, you have that culinary thing. And she had that from day one. And I knew that she was going to be one of those people that was really into the culinary. Some kids take it because it's a class. Other kids take it because it's something that they really are interested in. And so for Kai, she was interested from day one. And I had her level 1, 2, and 3. So I had her for all 3 years. in each of those years, she was at the top of the class academically, at the top of the class in the kitchen, and then this 4th year, she's actually doing a work-based learning program with me where she is here with me 2 periods out of the day, and she helps me set up demonstrations, break down things that need to be broken down, like put together food, things like that. She's kind of a sous chef for me, if you will. And I have to say that in this last year, she has absolutely blossomed with the culinary. I mean, she's just really started to show what she can do. And she's already enrolled with Walnut Hill School in Philly, and she's going to do pastry there. So I expect lots of great things to continue coming down the pike for this young lady.
I'd like to probably start working in a restaurant as a pastry chef, maybe even working my way up to be the head pastry chef. And then eventually, once I get financially stable enough, I'd like to open my own cafe. I think it would be really nice to have a place where I can, decorate and make everything my own as I see fit.
Kai Bernard, for your commitment to feeding the world like we do at Mountaire Farms, it's my pleasure to present to you the Mountaire WBOC Farm to Table Scholarship Award. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Once again, congratulations, Kaiya. If you'd like more information on the WBOC Mountaire Farm to Table Scholarship Program or to nominate a student, just search Farm to Table at WBOC.com. Coming up after the break, we'll wrap up the show with your latest photos. Outdoors Delmarva, presented by Gateway Subaru, returns right after this.
You're watching Outdoors Delmarva, presented by Gateway Subaru. Higher standards.
Welcome back to Outdoors Delmarva. It's time to flip through the photo album and take a look at your latest pictures, thanks to our friends at North Bay Marina.
11-year-old Parker Smith shows off his first gobbler. Sean Stewart of Marydale bagged a turkey on the first day of the season. Brett Elliott of Laurel got his very first turkey on his very first time out while hunting the outskirts of Cypress Swamp. 9-year-olds Sophia Perry and Peyton Whitlock posed with their first turkeys harvested on farms in Worcester County. The cherry blossoms are in bloom at the Salisbury City Park. Thanks for the photo, Nick. Joey Melvin of Seaford sent in a couple of photos of a recently hatched killdeer chick. Beth Hasty shows off some of the 114 foxes she trapped within a 2-mile radius around her home. And Danielle Schroeder of Bridgeville sent in this gorgeous photo of a bluebird that was hanging out in her yard.
Outdoors Delmarva viewer pictures are sponsored by North Bay Marina.
And that's going to do it for us this week. Keep sending in those pictures by emailing outdoors@wboc.com. Before we let you go, just wanted to remind you that you can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and even TikTok by opening up your phone's camera and pointing it at your screen. This QR code gives you all of our social media links, plus the website, email, and YouTube page. Thank you so very much for watching, and we look forward to seeing you right back here again next weekend. But until then, my name is Jason Lee, and I hope to see you outdoors, Delmarva.
You've been watching Outdoors Delmarva, which is presented by Gateway Subaru. Higher standards. And sponsored by Shorts Marine. Everything but the water.